What have I come to in my life? Why can't I be happy? Why can't I fix this? I can't bear to live in my own skin anymore. These were the thoughts that went through my head as tears streamed down my face into this pill bottle. It was very uncharacteristic of myself to give up on sports, academics, family life. But here I was, throwing in the towel to my own life. I didn't feel like myself anymore. I lacked a curiosity for life that I've had my entire life. I was unmotivated to do anything. I had a general fatigue. I knew I wasn't myself. Let's rewind 3 years back. I was walking back from the Brandeis Business School, and I gazed into the Sherman Dining Hall. The lights were off, and as I peered in, I felt a clench in my chest. A foreign clench. I'd never felt it before, so I went into a panic. I called my girlfriend at the time. She told me to take a walk. So I did. I went outside. I gazed up at the stars. I took some deep breaths. I lied down in the grass and took a nice, long look at the moon. But nothing helped. My mind was in a downward spiral. That night I tossed and turned. I couldn't fall asleep. The next month was spent in extreme discomfort. I'd call my dad every 15 minutes saying, "I can't do this anymore. Take me out of school. I can't stand this." He said, "You've done it before, kid. Just do it again." And so I tried. I tried to put my head down, but it wasn't working this time. My friends and girlfriend at the time tried to be there for me. And it's time that I say it now. Thank you. Thank you for trying. I genuinely appreciate it. But at the time, this is what I heard. "I do not know how to help you. Ethan, just snap out of it. You are choosing to feel this way. I do not want to kiss you because you are emotionally unstable." Luckily, I had a support system outside of Brandeis by my side. My family, my friends, and I drew a picture that I want to share with you here today. This is a tree with roots of varying sizes depending on how strongly supported I felt or loved. As you can see here, my mom and dad make up two of the biggest roots. There's my sports psychologist, some of my therapists, my teammates from here at Brandeis, and my siblings, along with two good friends. These people gave me the love I needed to root me down. And why did I pick a tree, you may ask? Because a tree can withstand a storm only if its roots are firmly grounded. They gave me that sense of grounding with their love. Ask me about the power of love. It kept this heart beating. Well, it wasn't easy. Sorry. We are all loved in this world, and we all deserve to be loved. But sometimes it's hard to provide that love to someone with a mental health issue because there's a lack of education out there. We have sex ed courses, we have core curriculum courses. We have these huge protests about racism and about gun control, but we fail to raise awareness about mental health. Also, as a friend, it's really hard to be empathetic for someone who's going through something if you've never been through it yourself. And that's what happened with me. So, I ask you to ask yourself, what would you say to someone with a broken ankle? "I do not know how to cure ligaments." "Ethan, just run out of it. You chose to break it. I do not want to kiss you because your ankle is unstable. We are more compassionate about ankles than we are about emotional disorders. And an ankle can't even kill you, while an emotional disorder can. Luckily, I had my mom there to take care of my mental ankle that summer in New York. But a month passed by and I realized I needed a change of scenery. So I flew down to Florida. There, I began to train at a tennis academy. I thought it would help me cope with my depression and my anxiety. I also met a psychiatrist, one that helped me take the first concrete step towards helping myself, towards solving my own personal silent epidemic. At the time, I didn't know what was going on with me. I didn't know I was going through my first bout of depression. So, I didn't really know what to do. And the reason I didn't seek help was because I had a fear of vulnerability. And the question begs to differ. Where did this fear come from? The stigma. The stigma against medication and the stigma against therapy. The word antidepressant has a negative connotation. When I first heard it, I thought, that's for loonies, that's for wackos. That's not me. Therapists are referred to as shrinks. A shrink? What's that? I scoffed when I first heard that word. It made no sense to me. Lastly, our society fosters perfection. From a young age, we are raised. We're pat on the back for everything, told everything's going to be okay, have huge dreams. And sometimes that's just not the case. Sometimes that is just not the case. Things do not come out perfect. And then I had two options to how and then the question was, so how do I overcome this? How do I overcome this stigma? And I had two options: to kill myself or to live with who I am. I chose the latter. There was a tipping point. When I was down in Florida and I closed my eyes to go to sleep, I saw flashes of a knife to my wrist. Luckily, my family was there at the edge of that bed to cry on. Also, my family was there to help me understand that my issues were also due to a chemical imbalance that was hereditary. Hey, thanks, Mom and Dad. An issue that's hereditary. I have a serotonin deficiency. Serotonin is the neurotransmitter in your brain that is responsible for well-being and happiness. My sister has a deficiency. My brother has a deficiency. And so do many in my bloodline. It also helped to know that I'm not alone in this struggle. Did you know that antidepressants are the #1 classification of prescription drugs handed out each year in the United States? How about this? 1 in 4 people do not suffer from diabetes, cancer, or heart disease. But 1 in 4 people do have a major depressive episode. These cold hard facts help me understand that I need to do something about it. And it started with this pill. Well, it wasn't exactly this pill. It was Lexapro, another SRI antidepressant. And remember that night, my dad had to come into the room because I was crying over the pill bottle, and he said, I need to see you take it. And so I did. And I gave him a big loud when I was done. And we hugged, and we rejoiced. Other than taking the pill, I began to seek therapy, religiously, twice a week, in fact. And I also started committing to what I loved: tennis, mindfulness, such as meditation and yoga. And I began to accept that failure is part of life. A true testament to someone's well-being is the level of their emotional resilience. To lose and to fail serve the same purpose in my eyes as fuel for that engine inside you, to improve enough to overcome your largest demons. That sophomore fall, I had one of the best falls here at Brandeis. Things were going great. I stayed consistent with my meditation practice. I was taking care of myself. I surrounded myself with the right people and made the right decisions. My tennis, as a result, I had the best results of my life at the Middlebury Invitational up in Vermont. There, I had one of the best runs of my life. And it wasn't due to the fact that it was a unique purpose I had in that tournament. It wasn't to win or to prove anything anymore, but rather, it was for all of them. All those people that stood by my side when I was struggling the most. They gave me that fuel to track down one more ball. And when that last ball landed out for my opponent, tears formed in my eyes. My coach came over and said, "I'm proud of you." But those tears, I want you to know, wasn't because of the results. It was because I was genuinely happy and content on and off the court for the first time in my life. I felt supported, grounded, and like myself, everything was going dandy. The semester was going great. And there goes Ethan, walking down the street, having a great semester here at Brandeis. And he makes a boneheaded decision. I stopped taking my medication. Without the supervision of a psychiatrist, without the recommendation of a therapist, little did I know there's such thing as SSRI withdrawal, or that you could have a major relapse. Oh boy, did it bite me in the butt. I relapsed bad. The anxiety spiraled out of control. I had no control over my emotions anymore. I seeked a psychiatrist who just plugged in a ton of medications because I exuberated a sense of urgency. And I lost myself. Morals, right out the window. Irresponsible decisions, bring it on. And how did I decide to cope with my clenching my chest from my anxiety? Alcohol and marijuana usage. The rise in awareness could have helped me have a better response to this. So I'm going to pose a couple of ideas for our society. One, why don't we have professionals come into elementary schools to educate about self-care? I saw a video about a month ago about a teacher who took her students through a meditation practice every day for 10 minutes. Another idea is, let's unveil the elephant in the room. It's a pretty big issue. Let's stop hiding away from it. And the last one is going to take a lot of commitment and a communal effort. Let's make therapy and medication more accessible for everyone here in this world. Now, medication can do a lot, but change must come from within. So you got to take a real hard look in the mirror sometimes and say, do I need help? What resources do I have? What are my next steps? That summer after the sophomore spring, what would have been my sophomore spring. And I was honest with myself. I signed the papers to take a leave from BrandeisUniversity because it's what I realized I needed to get regrouped. Personally, I was out of whack. Morally, out of whack. And medication-wise, don't even get me started. So I took the leave. And within that first week of being home, I received over 20 text messages from different students at this university saying something along the lines of, "Hi, my name is X, and I struggle from Y. I'm really proud of you for doing this." Or, "Hey, my name is A, and I struggle from B. And you're a true inspiration to me. I wish more people took action the way you did." The summer after, what would have been my sophomore spring, I really went hardcore on finding the right medication that I needed, and I met a psychiatrist. See, this psychiatrist is not like any other psychiatrist. He asked me if I wanted to juggle machetes with him at the end of one of our sessions. I politely declined. I also trained in tennis, and a dream also came true. I got a job as a sports psychologist. I ended up having to name my own company, Mind, Body, and Saal Mental Peak Performance Training. Go figure. This fall semester came around and I decided to enroll in classes at SUNY Purchase because I couldn't come back to Brandeis yet. There I learned a lot. I had stimulating classes, great professors, and it was nice being home with my dog on the couch sometimes to watch a Knicks game. But there was a void inside of me. I miss this place. I miss my coaches, my teammates, students, the challenge here at Brandeis. I miss the Brandeis community. So I finally got the opportunity to come back. And leading up to that comeback, I had so much anxiety. I was scared to come back to the place that had caused me so much strife in the past, so many bad memories. But I took the steps I needed to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I found another therapist. And this therapist, instead of inviting me to juggle machetes, he taught me the value of drinking one good beer versus drinking a lot of bad beer. And you know what, Mark? This is for you. This sip of sunshine's for you. But on a serious note, thanks. Thanks for all the cognitive behavioral therapy. Some people ask me, how was abroad? And I said, hey, abroad was great, if you mean my house. My dog's doing great. My mom's a great cook. But no, I took a leave. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. No, it's okay. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to bring it up. We don't have to talk about it. Hey. We can talk about it if you want. Because this is me. If an employer is not going to hire me due to my mental health issues, they don't deserve me. If a girl is not going to date me because I have an anxiety disorder, you're not the one for me. Hey, grad school, if you're going to look at the big 4 W's on my transcript and say, you're not accepted, go right ahead. Because this is me, and I love who I am. And here I am, giving my first ever TED Talk on this stage. I am not my depression. I am not my anxiety. I am perfectly imperfect, and I am still making adjustments unto this day. Some people ask me, how'd you do it? The simple answer was, I made the right choices. As my coach here at Brandeis says, I'm on a mission. So what's your mission? What do you want out of life? And whatever that may be, I want you to pursue that mission. And while doing so, don't compare yourself to others. And prioritize yourself. Because you're important to me. I'm really glad I didn't give up 3 years ago. Because it's given me the opportunity of a lifetime to make a change in the mental health field. And if by the time I take my last breath and the stigma has not diminished, I can confidently say I have come up short in my lifetime. Thank you.